Magic fans, I'm Beef, and welcome back to another Historic Brawl gameplay video. Technically, this is the last day of Magicmas, although obviously it's quite a way into past Christmas. So I hope you all did have a good Christmas and a good New Year's. And today we are playing Professor Onyx. Professor Onyx was requested by one of my followers, which is what I wanted. I wanted to play cards which aren't necessarily from the newer sets or more the popular commanders. I don't think I've actually ever played against Onyx, but he is pretty powerful. So who is Professor Onyx? So for those who don't know, Professor Onyx is better known by, as you'll see in the card, Liliana. She is Liliana the Planeswalker, but when Magic went to Strixhaven, the Hogwarts-inspired magical themed school, for some reason she became a teacher, and this is her Planeswalker teacher format. She is a 6-mana, 5 loyalty Planeswalker of Magecraft. Magecraft was a keyword from Strixhaven, which does something whenever you cast a copy of an instant sorcery spell. So in Onyx's case, whenever we cast a copy of an instant sorcery spell, each opponent loses 2 life and we gain 2 life, and that is going to be our win con. But apart from that static ability, she is a very powerful Planeswalker. She has a +1. We lose 1 life. Look at the top 3 cards of a library. Put 1 into her hand. The rest in a graveyard. So card draw is fantastic. A -3, which obviously she can do straight away. Each opponent sacrifices a creature with the greatest power among creatures that player controls. So a great way to protect her. And then a -8, which is not particularly hard to get to. Each opponent may discard a card. If they don't, they lose 3 life. Repeat this process 6 more times. So if our opponent's empty-handed, they lose 21 life. That is more often lethal. Even if they have 2 cards, they're losing 15 life. So that's very, very powerful, and it's not particularly hard to get to the ultimate. Because of that, we are playing a lot of hand disruption spells, because 1, they're instant sorceries, so it triggers her Magecraft, and 2, obviously it means our opponent will have less lands in hand for that ultimate. We are playing very, very few creatures. I think we have 3 creatures, which we'll get to in a bit, and one of them is basically removal. So first up, we have our hand interaction. We have a few of them: Dread Fugue, Dreams of Steel and All, Mind Spike, Thoughtseized, Agonizing Remorse, Check for Traps, Extract the Truth, Pilfer, and the big one, Thought Distortion. These all get into our hand, their opponent's hands, and discard or exile a non-land, maybe non-creature spell. Next up, we have a removal, and a lot of removal. The aim of the game is to keep the board clear until we can get Onyx down and protect her. So we have a lot of cheap removal, and again, these trigger her Magecraft. We have a lot of Edict effects, which cause opponents to sacrifice cards, as well as straight up removal. We also have some sweepers in the form of Toxic Deluge, Damnation. Yahenni's Expertise is a partial sweeper, and it lets us cast a cheap spell. Crux of Fate. Invoke Despair is not a sweeper, but it's a very, very powerful removal and card draw spell. Then we have Blood on Snow, Overwhelming Forces, and I thought we did have another one, but I could be wrong. Also have Consuming Corruption and Corrupt, which lets us do a lot of damage because it deals damage equal to number of spawns we control. Corrupt is to any target. Consuming Corruption is to creature or Planeswalker. Then we have a bit of ramp, Dark Ritual, because we're in a black deck. Playing Professor Onyx on turn 4 or 3 is pretty powerful. Arcane Signet, Jet Medallion reduces the cost of all our black spells. And then Prime and Amulet, we're playing a lot of instant and sorceries, so reducing the cost of those and obviously potentially transforming. It's really, really powerful as well. Next up, we have a lot of card draw. Black always can potentially struggle with card draw, but we do have Insatiable Avarice, Painful Bond, which is an alchemy card, and it does potentially damage us even more. Signing Blood, Blood Pact, Phyrexian Arena, which just lets us draw an extra card every turn. Turn 1, Dark Ritual in Phyrexian Arena is pretty good. Same with Necropotence. Stuff for Completion, it has a lot of modes, but most often we're paying 4 life to draw a card, but it can be ramp as well. Or Proliferate if we have Professor Onyx or one of our other Planeswalkers in play. Beseech the Mirror. Obviously, it's not quite card draw, but it does fetch as a card. And if we bargain, which means if we sacrifice an artifact, enchantment, or token, we can cast the fetch card if it's mana value 4 or less. Then Unholy Annex / Ritual Chamber. You've seen it a lot in Standard. Unholy Annex, at the beginning of your end step, if you control a demon, opponent loses 2 life and you gain 2 life. Otherwise, we lose 2 life. We don't have any demons in the deck, apart from the demon we can create from Ritual Chamber. But obviously, losing 2 life if we're casting an instant sorcery each turn is not particularly damaging with Professor Onyx. And next up, we have just some Planeswalkers. We have 3 Lilianas. Liliana Veil for discard and sacrifice. Liliana Dark Realms to help hit our land drops and also a bit of removal. And then if we get a 6, it does act as ramp. And then Dreadhorde General, which is really, really powerful. Sorin the Mirthless lets us create a... look at the top card of our library, put it into our hand. We lose life equal to the to its mana value. It is a maze, so we don't have to reveal it, but sometimes it's worth doing it. And obviously it's a land, we don't take any damage. And then Sorin Markov. So Sorin the Mirthless as well. If we get up to that -7, which again not hard, it can deal 13 at any target, and we gain 13 life. And then obviously with Professor Onyx chipping away, dealing 13 can either end the game or get them very, very low. Then another Sorin, +2 to deal 2 damage to any target, and we gain 2 life. That's really good. -3 target's opponent life total becomes 10. That can be really powerful, and we can do it straight away. So if we haven't managed to get in for much, we can basically hit for 15 maybe, and then -7 we control target player during that player's next turn. Next up we have some other kind of good stuff. Cling to Dust is a cheap instant that triggers Professor Onyx, but it lets us exile a card from a graveyard. If it's a creature card, we gain 3 life. Otherwise, we draw a card, and then we can escape it by paying 4 and exiling 5 other cards from a graveyard. Winter Moon, we are in a mono card deck, so this will can affect opponents a lot more than us. And then Black Market Connections to get a treasure, draw a card, and create a creature as well. And then the only other 2 creatures we have in our deck are Sheoldred, because it's a really powerful card, and because we have a lot of card draw, we can gain life that way. And Turgid, because we have a lot of discard and sacrifice effects, Turgid is a natural synergy with it. Even if we play Turgid, then play Professor Onyx and cause an opponent to sacrifice a creature with Professor Onyx, we can get that permanent with Turgid, so really, really powerful. And sometimes you might play Turgid just to bait out removal, because you don't want them using damage-based removal with Professor Onyx, or maybe if they've got a destroy target creature or planeswalker spell. And mana bases, as you'd expect, a lot of snow-covered swamps for Blood on the Snow. You'll see in a few games I didn't have any snow-covered swamps because I'm an idiot, but it didn't make a difference. We have a Deserted Temple, which can pay 1 to untap a target land, which is great for Nykthos, and obviously Cabal Stronghold, we can pay 3 to tap it to add a swamp for each basic swamp we control. Because it's basic swamp, we don't have Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth, which turns all lands into swamps. They wouldn't be basic swamps, so it wouldn't really help with Cabal Stronghold. And we haven't got Cabal Coffers in Arena, which basically does Nykthos, but for swamps. So that's a deck. It is really powerful. It is a mono-back control deck. It can obviously struggle against non-creature decks. There's a huge game you will see, which I did lose against another Liliana Planeswalker deck. Very, very few creatures. And obviously a lot of that interaction is based on creatures, so that's where we get a lot of value, so we can struggle there. But it's a really, really powerful deck and a really fun one, and not one we see often on Arena. I don't think I've ever played against Onyx, or if I have, I can't remember. So it's good playing it with a card that maybe not a lot of people we've seen. And at this point, I think he's 3 years old now, I think, Onyx, or maybe 4. Time flies during COVID. So that's a deck. I had a great time playing this. Hope you all had a really good time watching it. If you do, please remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the gameplay. Up against Koth, so a mono red deck. We don't have many creatures for our opponents to remove, but obviously wonder if they have many creatures for our opponents to remove. We can ramp with Jet Medallion. So I'd like to draw some more lands. Well, let's see if we can draw into them. We cannot. Soul Shatter targeting Planeswalker's pretty good. We can Professor Onyx. This is what I think we do. May just get lands.
Come on, there's got to be something useful. Ugh.
Can they deal 6 to Professor Onyx? Oh, I can do 2.
That's another demerit.
Oh, let's see what we find.
I have impeccable study habits.
I think we take out the Ruin Blaster just because Soul Shatter can take out Planeswalkers. Non-land card, Burst Lightning any target. Wow, they're on full land destruction. I think we take the thing that can damage our Planeswalker.
Stopping Phyrexia is all that matters.
Well, let's tick up. Take Turgrid. I think we prime an Amulet
Has to be an answer here.
and then Soul Shatter. Oh no, we can't. That was, yeah. We didn't have a black left.
I'll shape the earth itself.
Well, we've got to take out their Koth. I think we just take another swamp. Because I think they're going to be able to destroy.
Come on, there's got to be something useful. Ugh.
Then they're going to be able to destroy a land anyway. A ways away from being able to cast the Void Winnower. And we can hold up Blot Out for when they replay Koth. Fair enough.
Never thought I'd miss the library.
Now they can replay Koth and take out Turgrid, but they're going to need to probably take your reduced Onyx.
You're quite.
Enough talking. Fists up! Here comes the avalanche!
Tomb Corruption can deal Planeswalkers. Deal damage to Planeswalkers. I think we do
There's
that.
got to be something useful. Ugh.
My resolve never dies.
I think we've got to take the Void Winnower.
Stopping Phyrexia is all that matters. is all. We will retake this land from Phyrexia.
We'll find another land. Tick up Onyx to 8. Let's get down shouldered. If they have a land, obviously they can replay Cough and take out shouldered. It looks like they can take out.
Hey, over here.
Take out Chandra. And I
Down
think
here.
if we just tick down, they should die. So we can discard 2. That means 5. Yeah, I think they.
Waste of my time. This is why I'm the teacher and you're not.
I don't think they have enough cards in hand. Yeah, but nowhere near enough cards. I'm not sure what Barrowin does. Venture into the dungeon. Attacks return up to 1 creature card mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battle if you complete the dungeon. It sounds like it's a dungeon deck, so I think removal will be good. Obviously need 3 more lands. Take out Fortune. Well, let's Sorin.
I bring order to this broken.
I think we just tick up. Because I'm probably gonna
You wish to know my secrets?
Toxic Deluge.
Very well.
They're gonna get 2 venture into the dungeons. We'll reveal that. Take 2.
Nothing on Innistrad is
Well, let's Yohanni's expertise. They could have protection or a buff. So they do get another enter the dungeon. And we'll play our Signing Blood, target ourselves. Oh, let's just see what they've got. We're not that bothered about either of these. So we need to draw a land to be able to replay Burrowing. So we'll just play out Onyx.
Open your books to page 17 or something.
Blood for knowledge. A fair trade.
Let's take Consuming Corruption.
I have impeccable study habits.
I think we'd get rid of the arena. We have pretty decent card draw. Well, let's get into their hand a few times.
Run away. You'll be safer. Guards, to me.
These are creatures, but let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of Wandered Emperor.
Years of training.
Let's Infernal Grasp. And let's take that Bovine Intervention. Actually, no, let's take the Zombie Ogre. Let's take a March. And we could just put them down to 2,
Thought I'd miss the library.
which I think is what we do.
I will strip every shred
I
of
can
hope from your heart.
replay Barrowin. And now we just need to cast a spell. Oh, in fact we need to cast 2 spells, but and yeah, we drain them out. Nahiris, this is usually a equipment deck, I think. Oh no, it is a Planeswalker. Oh, it is an equipment deck. I think we keep this. See what I've got. See, I'd like more land. Swords doesn't really bother us. Neither does Chainsaw. Kite, I think we get rid of. Not as a third land, that's good. Let's take Danitha. We'll probably need a Murderous Rider and a Nahiri. Really like that fourth land. We will pay the tax. No full flam, but Winter Moon. They've only got one basic.
I am the last of the ancients, and my will reigns supreme. Everything is coming together.
I can consume corruption area then. Non-creature, non-land. I think I'm going to take swords because we can get out the Turgid. Obviously, we don't want it removed. That's a big if at the moment. We only have 3 lands. Wow. They dash out Ragavan. So we will kill Ragavan. Oh, we can't even invoke. Well, let's play out Primal Amulet. Means we can invoke next turn. There's no point in playing out Murderous Rider because they could just chainsaw it. Well, I will invoke Despair. We do draw the land. That was a big hit. Oh, I think we just Soul Shatter. Let's get down the rider. See, they can chainsaw it. Yeah. They can't equip it though. Well, I think we Professor Onyx, and we actually tick down.
Given a second chance, and you'll learn the power of death.
And yeah, our opponent scoops it up. They were in a pretty good position, but Professor Onyx is going to take over the game. Although we would need to have hit more spells we could play so we could get back all the life we'd lost. Up against the, well, I say new on Arena. Liliana Vess. Blot out can take out their commander. They are on the draw. We are on the draw. So let's get into their hand. Creatures. Discard. Discard. On a city plunder we choose. Extract for truth they choose. So we'll take extract for truth. Let's take their... Oh, they've copied our Phyrex scenario. Let's take their file of Caladriel. I think we just draw 3. Next turn, we can get out Professor Onyx. And hopefully they don't have Planeswalker removal.
New job, new life, new opportunities.
I think we need to take the land.
Ugh, there has to be an answer here.
There's Liliana.
I've conquered death, as I will conquer you. No one
Murderous
owns
Rider can
me.
take her out. But they may just be getting Planeswalker removal. It's annoying. It puts on top, not into hand. We'll take another swamp.
Let's go. Wipe that smug look off your face.
And then let's draw 2. I wonder what they did find. Yeah, I imagine that's what they found.
Rowdy for my tastes.
But we're not that far away from being able to recast it. Let's Mind Spike them. Let's take their Liliana. They can remove the rider. We're looking at a land.
What is more precious than life? Don't be boring.
Again, I wonder what they get. Well, let's attack their Liliana and let's pay out our Liliana. So I imagine they have got Planeswalker removal.
Liliana Vess? Sorry, haven't heard that name before.
Yeah, I'm going to need more swamps.
Come on, there's got to be something useful. Ugh. Contract be damned.
Well, let's get rid of Painful Bond. Nice. I imagine again that is what they got. Well, let's get rid of Liliana.
You failed to entertain me.
And let's get into their hand. I'm bizarrely not that bothered about Valgavoth because we have enough sacrifice effects. Holosat can remove the counters from Professor Onyx. And they can play out Valgavoth. They can potentially Valgavoth and then Implement of Malice.
I call, and the dead answer.
Again, do they just get
Waste of my time.
Planeswalker removal? How much removal do they have?
Power is worth
They probably have
its
Fell the Profane and
sacrifice.
Murderous Rider and all those kind of things. Mono black control versus mono black control is a bit of a slog. We're down at 71, they're at 77. We have seen more cars than them. Oh.
tutelage, even you can master death.
Let's get Beseech.
Let's go digging.
Yep, shouldered. We're gonna have to get Feed the Swarm. That was a mistake. Yeah, that was a big mistake. I forgot they had effect for X in Arena. Maybe we draw into Feed the Swarm. Or Withering Torment. And we even have Shoulder's Edict up for Valgavoth.
The etchings prove my immortality.
Again, I wonder what artifact removal they have. Planeswalker removal. I would love to find Cabal Stronghold.
Welcome to Witherbloom College, class.
We'll take Soul Shadow.
I never thought I'd miss the library.
I mean, they're not far away from being able to play out, do that, then play out Valgavoth. So if we drew Cabal Stronghold, we could replay Professor Onyx, but we didn't. What do they do?
You can kneel if you like. I'll actually
We are empty-handed.
Of course the contract was worth it.
I imagine they must have more artifact removal, planeswalker removal. Liliana. I'm surprised they didn't put their commander into their graveyard.
Run now, and I might spare your lives.
This was a wasted opportunity.
Beg for your life.
So Fell's a sorcery, so it can't take out our hive. There is Valgavoth. I really hope they can't cause us to discard. How many more Planeswalker removals do they have? At least one more. I'm going to decline it just in case we draw our Plant of the Snow. Or we can Sorin and start ticking up.
Care to meet my backup? This is boring.
I wonder if they got a reanimation spell for Valgavoth. I'm going to attack down Liliana.
Oh, you won. Good for you.
And then tick up. And maybe next turn we have lethal. Did they find... They found their own Professor Onyx.
If I won't be given a second chance, I'll make my own.
They may just have enough.
I have impeccable study habits.
Yeah, that might be game over for us. Yeah, it looks like it is. Well, that was a very, very close game.